over the past months, we saw the dollar move upward. It's correcting also right now, but we saw larger strides and movements of it over the past few months. And pretty much because interest rates in the US went up and people went to the dollar as a safe haven. So there will be asset classes that are considered safe. There will be asset classes that people will put in their money when they want to take lesser risks. There will be investments that people would put in lesser amounts as uncertainty comes. Hey guys, so I want to say this, that investing is all about risk and reward. So if you look at what happened to the entire crypto market and even the stock market over the past few months, we've seen downward moves, and I've made so many videos about this, talking about the Fed rate hikes, talking about inflation, talking about how interest rates affects all of this and how markets react when the Fed would move. When you look at investments, there are investments that are considered low risk, that they don't move as much in spite of uncertainty. And in spite of uncertainty also, because they're considered low risk, more and more people flock into them. Over the past months, we saw the dollar move upward. It's correcting also right now, but we saw larger strides and movements of it over the past few months. And pretty much because interest rates in the US went up and people went to the dollar as a safe haven. So there will be asset classes that are considered safe. There will be asset classes that people will put in their money when they want to take lesser risks. There will be investments that people would put in lesser amounts as uncertainty comes. That being said, there are investments that when times are bad, times are scary, people would want to take off risk. And because people would want to take off risk, given that they're riskier in nature, there would be a level of volatility. There would be larger downward pressures on that asset class. And that's what we saw in stocks. That's what we saw in Bitcoin. And in the same way also, people have been projecting a recession for 2023. But the more people have projected the recession, and even the Genesis bankruptcy in crypto, the market has somehow priced it in. Instead of dropping massively, we saw Bitcoin push further up. We saw other altcoins also push further up. Why am I saying this? For riskier assets, it's all cyclical. There will be times as the cycle is a bit pessimistic, those asset classes drop. That's why stocks and crypto dropped as well. But it won't also stay down forever. It won't stay low also forever. Of course, remove the ones that won't recover, the ones that are not really as game-changing, the ones that are really not as good. Those may not go back, those may not even hit all-time highs, or they may not even recover, or they may just consolidate and stay low for a very, very long time. But the ones that are really good, give it a period of consolidation on its lows, give it a time when economic data starts to get better. You would see them also from a chart standpoint start to push up and start to go up. When you see crypto up also, it makes you realize of how legit it is as an asset class, similar to the stock market and similar to other markets around the world. It just moves in cycles. And that's why every time I say that when there's fear, it's also a good way for you to be able to spot assets, stocks, crypto that's cheap and low, because it doesn't change it when there's blood in the streets, when everyone is scared, when everyone does not want to invest. That's a very, very good opportunity for you to be able to add to your position. That's a very good opportunity for you to be able to build the base. And now that we're seeing a recovery, what normally happens is when things get better, you see more people start to come back in, which is okay because people would want to lessen their risk. And also what the narrative is, they take their money out of assets that are less risky back to assets that are risk on. And that's why you see markets also start to push up, which I think is also a very, very sound technique. I think the soundness of it is that when it's bad, they don't want exposure to a larger downside. When things become better, they want to come in and they're okay not capturing the bottom. I guess what's important also is when you realize that it's cycles, the moment you panic when it's low and you sell at the lowest point because you are a bit afraid of losing money, that's when it becomes, I think, detrimental also to your portfolio. Follow your system, that if you're in it also for assets that are very, very good, When it's lower, it gives you the opportunity to be able to buy more. Or if you want to mix and match with assets that are risky versus assets that are safe, you could also do that method that you move it into some assets that are, when times are bad, you get to put it into safer assets. When times are good, you get to put them when sentiment is shifting and getting better. And then you get to add and build the base off of that. Will this be, at least for crypto and for stocks, the start of an even larger move? I'm still a believer of, at least for Bitcoin, the halving cycle. That if you follow the halving cycle from 2017 to 2020, we saw Bitcoin drop to 3,000, then somehow went to around 9,000, 10,000. So it moved up, but it didn't go to its all-time high. It didn't push higher, but it recovered. And I think we'll see that also before the next halving cycle in 2024. We'll see Bitcoin and different altcoins start to get better and push up, but maybe they won't reach or push against those all-time highs. So there, what you need to remember is, as it goes up right now, it won't also go up forever. But there will be points and times also that there will be corrections, that we will see it go lower. At certain points, it will be okay to take profits. Please do remember this, that it's not wrong to sell. It's not wrong to take profits, as long as what you're doing also is part of your plan, as long as what you're doing is part of what you dictated before you made the trade. I always say this, even in the stock market, that if you change your rules in the middle of the game, in the middle of the trade, that's when you start to lose money. That's when you also start not to build a conviction on how things should be. But if you do it in a way that you're coming in based on a set of rules, you're hodling based on a set of rules, and you're also selling slash take profits based on a set of rules, then I think that's okay. So there, let's see how this will go as inflation starts to ease, how the US government will tackle interest rates over the next few months, as Bitcoin also enters at the next halving cycle. So there, I hope that this was something that was very relevant to you. But just to summarize everything that I said, it's cycles. You could either allot investments into assets that are low risk to somehow mitigate the downside, or you could also double down on assets that are more volatile but you believe in it so much, so that when the recovery happens, you get to maximize your upside as well. Or if you're the person that put in your money into less riskier assets, you get to transfer them also once sentiment gets better. Since there will be times of consolidations and it starts to go up, what's very, very important is you don't follow your emotions, you follow your plan, and you realize that this is something that's methodical. This is something that you have to devote a lot of time and attention in. So, as we're still in the first month of 2023, it's so exciting and it's so interesting how everyone was talking about 2023 would be so bad. But when you look at it, the numbers are saying, prices are saying also, that it may not be as bad as what everyone hoped it would be. And I'll end it with this. The entire market, from stocks to crypto, it's forward looking. Economic numbers are lagging. The market sentiment is always ahead, and it's more of a leading indicator as a pulse on how people are deploying their capital. So that's it for now. Marvingermo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon. God bless you all.